So today's video continues our featured build series, but this time around it's sponsored by bequiet and the Darkbase Pro 901. I reviewed this case at launch in black, but today's video features the white version as well as some of bequiet's brand new Silentwings Pro 4 120mm white fans and the latest bequiet Dark Power 13 power supply. The Darkbase Pro 901 features interchangeable top and front panels for either optimal airflow or almost inaudible operation, removable fan and radiator brackets with integrated fan hub to simplify installation, as well as a touch-sensitive front panel to control fan speed and ARGB lighting effects, and a top-mounted wireless charging pad. The generous dimensions of the Darkbase Pro 901 allow for EATX motherboards, huge graphics cards, and up to 420mm radiator installation. The case comes with 3 bequiet Silentwings 440mm fans and subtle ARGB lighting in the front panel and on the power supply shroud. The Darkbase Pro 901 in white is available to purchase in the UK now. You can pick it up from OcUK priced at $319.99. I'm also going to be using in the build some of these bequiet Silentwings Pro 4 fans in white, 120mm versions. I'll probably be removing the 140mm fans that come with the case to stick with 120s all round. bequiet Silentwings Pro 4 feature optimized fan blades for high static pressure and high performance on radiators and heat sinks, a built-in speed switch to choose between medium, high and ultra high speed up to 3000 RPM, 6-pole motor and fluid dynamic bearing to reduce vibration resulting in smooth operation, as well as a swappable mounting system for use as either a chassis fan or with a radiator and virtually inaudible operation at regular speed. You can also pick up these bequiet Silentwings Pro 4 in white. They'll set you back around £30 each from OcUK. And also in the build I'll be using this bequiet Dark Power 13 power supply. The Dark Power 13 features ATX 3 compliance, support for PCIe 5 and 80+ titanium efficiency, a fully modular cable design for maximum convenience, an improved frameless Silentwings fan and full mesh front for maximum airflow, an integrated overclocking key can switch between 4 individual 12-volt rails or one massive 12-volt rail. Active rectifier plus full bridge LLC provides unrivaled signal stability and extremely high efficiency. So that's the Dark Power 13 power supply. There are some lower power and higher power pro versions of this, but you can pick up this 1000 watt version from OcUK now for around £290. When I reviewed the Darkbase Pro 901, the things I really liked about it were the modular design, so the interchangeable panels allowing for the change of configuration of the case. You can completely invert the orientation. The high-end hardware support, so EATX motherboards, big graphics cards are supported, and the build quality is exceptional. It also has great potential for cooling, and we're going to be taking that one step further today because I'll be building the system with an AlphaCool custom CPU loop using the AlphaCool Core 1 Aurora White CPU block, an AlphaCool Nexus UT60 full copper 360mm white special edition radiator, an AlphaCool Core Flat Reservoir 360 with integrated VPP pump. The fittings are AlphaCool Isaacson Pro 16mm, and I'll be using some AlphaCool acrylic 16mm hard tubing. For the rest of the system specification, the CPU is an Intel Core i9-14900K, motherboard is a Gigabyte Z790 Aorus Pro X in white, graphics card is a Gigabyte RTX 4080 Aero OC, for memory it's 64GB of G.SKILL Ripjaws M5 RGB DDR5 6400 mega transfers per second, and for storage it's a 1TB Corsair MP700 PCIe NVMe M.2 SSD. So that's all the hardware and cooling specifications, but this video is all about the build, so let's get on with that now. Sit back and relax, watch this time lapse of the build, and then I'll be back soon with my views on the system and to see how it's turned out. So the system's built, it's up and running, everything's working as it should be. I hope you enjoyed watching the time lapse. I installed the radiator up at the top of the case, a 60mm thick radiator with 3 bequiet 120mm Silent Wings Pro 4 fans. Reservoir is at the front. There's also 3 120s at the front. There's about a 20mm gap between the fans and the reservoir, so the fans should still be pretty functional even though the reservoir is up to the fans. And there's another 3 bequiet Silent Wings Pro 4 120mm fans on the side mount. They're working as intakes. The front are intakes, and the top radiator, the fans on that are exhaust. And I've also swapped out the Silent Wings 4 for a Silent Wings Pro 4 140mm exhaust fan on the rear of the case. I've also mounted the graphics card vertically using the optional bequiet riser kit. Really happy with how the system looks. I've used a few 90-degree angle fittings to try and keep the tubing runs as simple as possible, but I think it's turned out looking really nice. I like the white and orange theme. It's a personal favourite of mine. I've also tried to keep the cables looking as neat and tidy as possible and as minimal as possible, so the GPU cable is pretty well hidden by the vertical graphics card. It's not quite as good as a back connect style build like an MSI Project Zero build or anything like that, but the thick radiator hides all the top wiring. The shroud down the side of the motherboard tray does a reasonable job of hiding the wiring there, but there are a few. Could have probably left some of the USBs disconnected. It is only a showcase build, but I do like to build it as if it's as functional as possible. So I'm really happy with how it's turned out overall. In terms of the cooling, I've run a quick combined Cinebench R23 and 3D Mark Speedway stress test running simultaneously. CPU temperature is about 85 degrees C and the GPU sat happily with its air cooler at 60 degrees C. So I'm pleased with how it's turned out. Let me know what you think of the build and these bequiet parts in the comment section. If you've enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to Kit Guru. If you want to help support us, if you enjoy what we do here at Kit Guru, you could always head over to the store, pick up some of our merch, or you could even subscribe to our Patreon. And as always, if you want to catch up on all the in-depth technical reviews, head over to the website.